Why does the financial system feel rigged, and what can I actually do about it? Answer: it doesn't just feel rigged, it is, and it has been for 5,000 years. But here's the thing, this system has existed since 3,500 BCE. I'm talking about debt. About 5,000 years ago, the earliest recordings of debt appear on clay tablets in ancient Mesopotamia. And from that moment forward, debt became the infrastructure that keeps money concentrated at the top. Lenders loaned money, borrowers owed more than existed, the wealthy got wealthier, the middle and working classes stayed stuck. This isn't a bug, it's a feature. Throughout history, every time regular people have figured out that the system is rigged, every worker revolt, every debt forgiveness movement, every rage about inequality, the system has responded the same way, by adapting just enough to stay in power. Because here's the critical truth. Systems only change when they stop benefiting the people who run them, and our financial system still benefits the rich, just like it did in 3,500 BCE. So the wealthy will never change it willingly, and talking about it, complaining about it, being angry about it, that's valid and necessary for your soul, but it won't change the system. The system doesn't care about your anger. Here's what nobody wants to hear. You can't fix the system. And I know that's not the motivational answer you were hoping for, but stick with me. The frustration you feel about the financial system is completely valid. The wealthy class keeps getting wealthier, housing is unaffordable, wages haven't kept up with inflation in decades. You were promised that if you worked hard and got educated, you'd be fine. And then you did all that, and you're still broke. That's not your imagination. That's real. But you know what? You can change you. This is where people lose me. They think I'm about to tell them to just be grateful for what you have or pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you cannot control the system. You can only control your relationship to the system, and that's actually powerful. The system is designed to keep you stressed, confused, and making decisions from a place of fear or shame. If you're constantly anxious about money, doing mental math every time you spend, feeling guilty for wanting nice things, or ashamed that you can't save, you're exactly where the system wants you. Stressed, small, and compliant. What if instead you spent your energy on clarity and control over the part of your life you actually have power over? Your paycheck, your safety, your peace. Here's what I mean by that. You can't change the fact that you have bills. You can't change inflation. You can't change the wage stagnation. But you can change the mental load of managing money. You can stop doing financial gymnastics in your head every time you think about spending. You can have a clear, safe-to-spend number that you trust, so your brain isn't constantly in fight or flight mode. You can build a tiny buffer so that when something goes wrong, it doesn't feel like a catastrophe. You can stop restricting yourself into resentment and instead spend on things that actually align with what matters to you. You can move from "I'm broke because the system is rigged, true but powerless," to "I have clarity on my money and I'm making choices that feel good to me, true and empowering." That's not the same as saying the system is fair. It's not. It never has been. But staying enraged at an unfair system while simultaneously staying confused and anxious about your own money, that's like yelling at the ocean for being wet. The frustration with capitalism, the disillusionomics, the feeling that traditional financial wisdom doesn't apply anymore, that's real. You're not wrong to feel it. The promises made to millennials and Gen Z were false. You can't buy a house on a single income. Retirement is a luxury. Climbing the ladder is harder. The system was designed to benefit people who were already wealthy, and that's empirically true. But here's where the power is. You don't have to buy into the narrative that you're supposed to be chasing house ownership, retirement planning, net worth optimization, or any of the things the system tells you to want. You can reject that completely. You can decide that what matters to you is feeling safe, having breathing room, and spending on the things that actually bring you joy. Peace, freedom, connection, experiences, growth. And you can build a financial life around that instead. That's why I built 𝘱𝗲𝗄. Not to fix the system, but to help you opt out of the exhaustion the system creates. To automate the parts of money management that steal your mental energy. to give you a clear, safe-to-spend number so you're not constantly stressed, to let you build a tiny cushion so you're not one mistake away from disaster, to track your spending against your actual values so you know you're spending on the things that matter. It won't make you rich, it won't change the inequality, it won't fix capitalism, but it will give you clarity, control, and breathing room in the part of your financial life you actually have power over. And sometimes the most radical thing you can do in an unfair system is take care of yourself and refuse to suffer more than you have to. If you're tired of being confused and stressed about money, come check out Felice at findfelice.app. It's $7.99 a month. Let's give you some breathing room.